Hey everyone. So you've probably heard a ton about Bitcoin, right? It can all seem super complicated with a lot of noise and technical jargon. But today, we're going to cut right through all of that. We're going to break down what it is, how it actually works, and what it really means to be in control of your own money. Let's dive in. Let's just start with this one powerful idea. What if you could be your own bank? I mean, really think about that. No asking for permission, no middlemen taking a cut, no one telling you what you can and can't do. It's just you and your money. This is the radical idea that's right at the very heart of Bitcoin. All right, so let's get right to it. What exactly is Bitcoin at its core? Well, it was designed from the ground up to be a brand new kind of money, one that works completely without needing traditional banks or any other financial institution. To really get it, you got to go back to where it all started. Back in 2008, a mysterious person or group known only as Satoshi Nakamoto published this paper. In it, they laid out a plan for what they called a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The goal was honestly pretty simple, but it was also totally revolutionary. Let people send money directly to each other anywhere on the planet without a bank having to approve it or get in the middle. Okay, that's the big idea, and it sounds great in theory. But how does it actually work? How does the money actually get from point A to point B? Let's walk through how your first Bitcoin transaction would go down. It really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you use a special app called a wallet to create and digitally sign a transaction. You can think of it like writing and signing a digital check. Second, your wallet then broadcasts this transaction out to this global network of thousands of computers. And finally, some of those computers, which we call miners, they compete to confirm your transaction by adding it to the official record. And that official record book? Well, it has a name, the blockchain. You can think of it as a massive, shared digital ledger that's totally public for anyone to see. Every single transaction that gets confirmed is added as a new block, creating this long, unbreakable chain of transactions. It's what makes the whole system permanent, secure, and transparent. Okay, now this next part, this is arguably the single most important concept for any new Bitcoin user to really understand. It all comes down to a simple phrase, not your keys, not your coins. This is the absolute core principle of what it means to truly own your Bitcoin. Here's what that really means. Unlike a bank account that's tied to your name and ID, your ownership of Bitcoin is proven with something called cryptography. This quote just says it all. Whoever controls the cryptographic keys controls the funds. That's it. Full stop. Let's use an analogy to make this crystal clear. You basically have 2 types of keys. First, you've got your public address. Think of this like your bank account number or maybe your email address. It's totally safe to share it with anyone who wants to send you Bitcoin. But your private key? Whoa, that is a completely different story. That's like the master password to your entire vault. It's the secret that proves you own the funds and lets you spend them. It must be kept secret. You never, and I mean never, share it with anyone. So how in the world do you protect something so important? Well, the best way, the gold standard, is with something called a hardware wallet. It's just a small physical device, kind of like a special USB stick, and its only job is to keep your private keys completely offline, away from hackers and viruses. It lets you approve transactions without ever exposing your secret key to your computer or the internet. It's also really important to know that you can use Bitcoin in different ways. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It really depends on what you need. Are you looking for fast, cheap payments, or are you looking for maximum security for your savings? It's all about choosing the right tool for the job. And this is where we see 2 different layers in action. On one hand, you have the main Bitcoin network. We call this on-chain. It is incredibly secure, like a fortress. But because of that, it can be a little slower, and the fees can be higher. It's absolutely perfect for large, important transactions. Think of it as your secure savings vault. But then there's the Lightning Network. This is a second layer built right on top of Bitcoin. It's designed to be, well, lightning fast. We're talking near instant payments with tiny fees, which makes it perfect for small, everyday things like buying a coffee. Think of that as your spending wallet. Okay, so since you're your own bank now, guess who's in charge of security? Yep, you are. Security is 100% your responsibility. So let's talk about how to protect your Bitcoin and how to spot some of the common risks out there. Scammers are everywhere, but they often use the same old tricks. You have to be super skeptical of anyone, and I mean anyone, who promises you guaranteed high returns. That's a massive red flag. Also, watch out for any scheme that seems more focused on getting you to recruit new people than it is on an actual product. And look, if someone can't clearly explain to you how their investment or their technology works, you should probably just walk away. All right, these are the absolute non-negotiable rules for protecting your stuff. Your seed phrase is the master backup for your private keys. You need to write it down on paper or even better, on a piece of metal. You must never store it digitally. That means no photos of it, no emailing it to yourself, no saving it in a text file. Keep that physical backup somewhere safe and secure. And I really can't stress this enough, never, ever, ever type your seed phrase into any website. Finally, always do your own research before you trust any person or service with your money. So all of this, it all brings us to this final, really powerful idea: financial sovereignty. It's about understanding the incredible freedom that this technology can offer, but also about appreciating the immense personal responsibility that comes right along with it. At the end of the day, this is the ultimate trade-off. Bitcoin gives you complete, total, absolute control over your money, which is amazing. But it also means there's no customer service number to call if you mess up. There is no "I forgot my password" button to click. You and only you are responsible for keeping your money safe. So we kind of come full circle, back to where we started. With this technology, you become your own bank. It's a profound shift in how we think about money, about ownership, about control. So the only real question left to ask is, are you ready for that responsibility?